Greetings everybody, my name is Chris and I am one half of CoWap Bros, and today I am going to be taking you through one of my favorite childhood games of all time, and still is one of my favorite games, one of my favorite series anyway. This is Crash Bandicoot 1, and if you have watched the others in the series, you'll know I did play through Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3, and I am now going back to redo Crash Bandicoot 1. So this will actually just be the first time you see it, so you shouldn't actually know that this is me redoing it, but I am telling you, this is me replaying Crash Bandicoot 1, and you'll have my annoying voice guiding you through the levels. It's not so much a walkthrough as it is a playthrough, as it is a guide, as it is me simply playing Crash Bandicoot. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the game here. So there's that iconic Crash Bandicoot startup screen. You'll see that we have start, load game, password, and options. So options just pretty much your sound and visual options. Password is something, if I go into it, I'll just show you here quickly. It'll ask you to enter a password. I can press my keys here, invalid password. So you'll be wondering what the password is. I will explain that all in good time. Load game we don't want to do because I've got no save game here. So what I'm going to do is start, which will start a new game for us. So here we go. It just kind of throws you in, I guess, into the deep end. So this is level 1 on Island 1. This is Nsanity Beach. So Crash Bandicoot waking up, washed up on shore. Where is he? What is he doing? Who knows? All we know is we gotta get to the end of this level. So first released back in 1997. Crash Bandicoot went on to become then one of video games' most iconic mascots, that's for sure. The game sold an incredibly large number of copies, and it was one of the first to be involved in the PlayStation Platinum series. Widely claimed by critics, fans alike, as just one of the best platforming games to have graced the stage. This really was a feat in itself, because beforehand you had Sonic, and Sonic was simply a side-scroller, and this just kind of turned that on its end. This game was known in development as Sonic's ass because of the camera angle. As you can see, this would be like watching Sonic's ass instead of a side-scroller. We are in fact behind Crash Bandicoot. And it is 100% one of my all-time favorites. Not just this one alone. Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3, and of course Team Racing, stand there as one of my favorites. One of my favorite little group of games of all time. It then went on to PS2 days, and it's not that I didn't like it. I did enjoy it on PS2, but the PS1 games I just find just hold up so much better. You know, they are the originals. They are the best. You can't beat that. This is what I would have played growing up as a kid with my mom and dad. And here I am, 22 years of age, and I can still happily sit and play through Crash Bandicoot as if, you know, it's just another game. So there we go. So because I collected all of the crates, all of the boxes there, it is giving me the option to save my game, which I could do in any of these save. But I am playing this the way I would have played it years and years ago, in that I had no memory card. So I would have went for the password option, and if I press triangle, it will give me the super password. So there you see triangle, triangle, square, circle, X, etc., etc. I would have had to jot that down pretty quick, or, you know, I would have had to jot it down because, you know, no camera phone, so I wouldn't have been taking a picture of it real quick. Jot it down, and then back at the home load screen, if comes the password, I could simply type that password in, and my game would load up here at the next level, Jungle Rollers. So that is how we did it back without a memory card. That was one of the true good things about older consoles. The PS1, and even the PS2 for that matter. I distinctly remember leaving those consoles on all night, and not even worrying about, you know, could this overheat? You know, will this damage it? You know, will this damage my game? No. I just left it on because there was no way I was coming back the next day and replaying everything. So one of the many things I loved about the older consoles and the older generation of consoles, which is what co-op bros are all about the retro and couch co-op of yesteryear. So we are making our way through the second level here, and as you can see, we have our little, see that little mask floating beside me, that little voodoo mask? That is Aku Aku, and he is our guide, if you like. Our guide through all of the Crash Bandicoots. And with him, I can, you know, be hit by or attacked by an enemy, and I will not die. As long as I have him beside me, he will take the damage. But he will disappear then. But I can simply pick up another box with him inside it, and he will protect me again. If I collect 3 of the masks in a row, if you like, I will gain that temporary invincibility. So I can pretty much run for 20 to 30 seconds, just running clean through enemies, boxes, whatnot, and not be affected whatsoever. This is the bonus round then. So you see the little tokens I collected. Collect 3 of those during a level and you will be taken to a bonus round, which is pretty much this little side-scrolling side mission, which is a great way of racking up some Wumpa Fruit and some Crash lives. And if you make it to the end, as you see here, you jump into the little vortex whirlpool thing there, you will get another chance to save your game. But of course we're not, so we'll opt for the password, and again it gives us another password, and we will continue. And we will be checkpointed back to where we started the bonus, where we can continue our progress. So even for such an old game, this, let me tell you, this holds up incredibly well. I recommend, I know you can get this, I know you can pick up copies of these old PS1 games. So if you have a PS1 or PS2 lying about, oh, I missed 3 boxes. So there we go. But if you have a PS1 or even PS2 lying about, I highly recommend you get online and pick up a cheap copy of the old Crash Bandicoot games. Because they are still phenomenal to play through. And if not, I know you can get them on the PlayStation Store. I know you can get them on PS3. I'm not so sure about PS4. I know very little about the PS4. Other than I have one and I don't play it. And I know the big news was that Crash Bandicoot is, of course, being remastered and is coming to PS4 2017. Now, as a massive Crash Bandicoot fan, you'd think I'd be somewhat happy about this, elated. Great news. When I heard the news, I felt a little part of me, I felt that sick feeling. You know, a real uncertainty, and I'll tell you why. I love these games. Like, I adore these games. This is what I grew up with, so I have so many good memories playing these games with my mom and dad. And playing them growing up, and all the fantastic memories, and, you know, I still get that, all these feelings, these nostalgic feelings when I play through the game. And I love it for what it is. For what this game is. This platformer like this, where, you know, old school platformer, bare bones. So they're remaking it. And, yeah, sure, I'd like to see, you know, upgraded textures and colors and whatnot. But chances are, they will include features which I find not needed in the game to suit modern day players. So what I mean is, like I told you there before, you either had a password or you could save your game onto a memory card. This had absolutely no autosave feature. Autosave wasn't even invented yet. So that is something I'm worried that they may take into the Crash Bandicoot remaster. I am worried that they will have the autosave feature and that they will include how do I put it? So sorry, there's another super password, but we're again not going to take that one. I'm worried that they're just going to include too many little gimmicky things. You know, they might, I hope that they literally just keep the levels as they are. You know, there's no call to change these whatsoever. There's no call to make them longer, there's no call to make them shorter, there's no call to add bonus pieces in, there's no call to give Crash extra moves, extra, you know, abilities. There's no call for any of that. Just keep it the way it is. Upgrade the textures, upgrade the colors, you know, make it look visually outstanding. But you know, keep the controls with, like, I'm playing this using the old controller, so no analog. We literally have a D-pad, and that is it. And that is the way I like to play Crash Bandicoot. That is the way I like to play all my PS1 games, without the analog. You know, don't get me wrong, analog was great when it came with the DualShock for PS2, but PS1, there's no call for it. I think. That's just my opinion, you know? And that's why I'm not too excited. More nervous than excited about the Crash Bandicoot remaster. So here you will see something that no platformer did before, and that we are... This begins the running away from giant things series in the Crash Bandicoot games. A very, very iconic set of levels, and very iconic level right here, where we are running for our lives from a giant boulder which could flatten us at any minute. Okay, and this was completely new to games this year, and it's just so beautiful. The location, the music, the setting, everything. This is just a classic example of how a platformer should be. Naughty Dog, in my opinion, could do absolutely no wrong. They can't do any wrong, you know, in any games that they really make. I'm a big Naughty Dog fan, but especially with Crash Bandicoot, this is excellent right here. And that right there used to be, and still is at times, one of the most intense levels. You know, those butt-clenching levels. We are fearing for your life the whole way through it. And Crash just did that so well. So we move on to Upstream. Just going to see, like the title suggests, Crash Bandicoot make his way upstream. Who knew? What have I got? So here we have our invincibility, courtesy of me already having 2 of the masks, collecting another. Not that it's much good here. This is more about you know, timing jumps and nailing the landings than actually defeating enemies, or getting rid of foes, if you like. It's a TNT box, 3-second timer, and you do not want to be anywhere near that or you will blow up. Put quite simply. Whoa, as we wait in our leaf to come back. There it is. Great soundtrack to this game. Really good soundtrack. Here we go again. Still have the invincibility. Just gotta wait in that little flower to open up. Just make our way up. Again, no real call for this here at all. But we'll head to our bonus round. We collected our 3 little tokens there. And the levels and even bonuses do get progressively harder as we move on through the game. Most definitely. You know, I have seen myself struggle on Island 2 and Island 3. Can be a real bitch. There we go. Couple extra lives for good measure. Thank you. That's 13% complete right there, and we have our save point, and I'm not going to save it. We're just going to grab our super password and move on upstream. And the levels will get progressively longer as well. That was another thing, you know. They will get longer, and checkpoints will become very few and far between. That was one thing that that of course I love about the Crash Bandicoot games, but after playing through 2 and 3, I just realized that the checkpoints in this game, in Crash Bandicoot 1, were so few and far between compared to the other 2, that, you know, if you were halfway through a level, you could still not see a checkpoint box, and if you die, I mean, you're going right back to the start. So here we go, the first of our boss levels, if you like. And this is the Aztec Warrior guy, Papu Papu. So he's just woken up from his from a slumber, and he's got this big I don't know, what would you call that? It's not an axe. Club. And he is going to rotate. And we just want to stand in his chair and jump. Wait for him to slam and then jump on his head. And you do that 3 times and he should just succumb. Oh! There we go. There we go. Crash delighted with himself, and we move on. So the first of the bosses, not too difficult. I would actually class him as just a little side boss, not a real villain. So rolling stones, and you will see that some of the levels are very similar to other levels. You know, they're based off of previous levels, but you know, there are obviously some clear differences. You know, they're not just an exact replica. You know, we're not just playing the same level over and over again here. This is rolling stones. Oh, and there we have, so we're collecting our little heads for the bonus round, the little tokens, and then you also have these. You can see in the bottom straight down we have our Crash girlfriend heads, and that will take us to the bonus. And then you can see in the bottom left, if I bring that up again, there you go, that is the nitrous brio head, and that will take you to what I always just knew as the hard bonus round growing up. So it is a bonus round, it's just a much more difficult, you know, filled full of like TNT and ridiculously hard and challenging jumps to overcome to get to the end. And then of course you will have the Cortex little head that you can pick up later on in the game, which will take you to the Cortex bonus round, which is again even harder than the Brio bonus round. But we'll get to all them. You should see the first of the Brio here, as long as I pick up the last head. Oh, the second and third, sorry. Oh. Huh. There we go.
What have I got?
Just gain our invincibility here, and it will not stop you from falling down a hole. That is one thing. So I nearly fell there. Off to the bonus. Let's see what this one has in store. Just a lot of... This is something I was never really good at in Crash. Timing those jumps. Like, I always miss one. I knew, yeah. That was always going to happen because I missed the freaking box. So you fail the bonus, you do not get another chance. You get one chance at the bonus. And I fluffed it up right there, so... we just have to move on. So had this been years ago and I failed the bonus, I was not getting a chance to... Oh, I missed a head, did I? Oh, I did miss a head. I'm sorry, you're not going to get to see the Brio bonus round yet, but you will. But yeah, had this been years ago and I missed that bonus, you know, we were not saving our progress, so... And there's no way we would have had as many lives as I do at the minute. Lives were, again, few and far between. If you had 5 or 6 lives, you know, you were doing really, really well. Hog Wild, which is another very iconic Crash Bandicoot level, in which we are riding a hog. So I take control of the hog, carrying Crash to the end of the level. Very Aztec themed. Gotta watch the spiked cacti, or totems. I don't know what you call them, to be honest. You just gotta watch them. And the little Aztec people. Don't want to hit them. Bounce over that big hole. Still want to collect all my boxes. And a checkpoint. The annoying thing was, if you were trying to collect all the boxes... Oh, I think I missed one there. And you get to like 3/4 of the way through the level, and you die. You know, you fall down a hole or something kills you. The boxes would respawn behind you. So all your box collecting attempts had just been for nothing, unless you want to backtrack right through the whole level and pick them all up again. You will not get yeah, I missed one box. You will not get the little diamond for collecting all your boxes. And if you want to collect all the diamonds, because there's a level close to the end called the Great Hall, and you will use those diamonds as a mode of transport. I will show you when we get there, but as a mode of transport to get to the end of the level.
What have I got?
So again, similar to the Great Gate, the third level that we did, only a lot longer and a lot more difficult. Okay, just gotta make our way up this giant Totem Pole, I think. Gotta use our spin attack to give us something to stand on, and then quickly make it up it before they revert back. Gotta watch the fire too. And our turtles, strangely enough. Turtles or tortoise, I'm not quite sure. Probably tortoise. Or turtle. Oh, there we go. That is a crash death right there. Just got too close to the monkey. Not this time. You gotta jump on the little Aztec's head. Otherwise, they will just push you clean off the walkway, and then you can use your spin attack to get rid of them. Watch out for them nasty flowers too. So as I died there, all the boxes that I would have collected have respawned back, and I'm not going back for them. So we will miss boxes here. We're not getting no diamond for this level, that's for sure. The slippy moss. Well, stay away from it. Avoid the TNT. Had to be quick there to gain our lives. And then another totem, but I think yeah, it is bonus time. So let's hope. You would have been really trying to complete these bonus levels back in the day, because that's how you were going to save your progress. You fail a bonus, and God knows how long you would have waited to save your progress. And they look relatively easy. Let me tell you, they are not. They will challenge your depth perception to the max, as will other levels that you will see in this game. Another super password. We're not going to need it. We'll just push on. And back in the day, this game could have taken weeks to complete. I'm not kidding, weeks. Partly because I wouldn't have had the dexterity I have nowadays, and I definitely wouldn't have had the patience. You know, I probably wouldn't have even made it up that totem right there. But could have taken weeks. Oh. There we go. Definitely wouldn't have made it up that as a kid. Use our turtle to collect the box in our Wumpa. Little Aztec. See their huts in the background. It's a great setting. Great setting. I probably enjoy levels off the first Crash Bandicoot more so than I do off Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3. I mean, there are levels that I really enjoy in Crash 2 and 3, but I enjoy the most of them off Crash Bandicoot 1 the most, if you get me. I think they're just the ones that I remember the most. But in terms of how I would rate these games, Crash Bandicoot 3 for me comes out on top, followed closely by Crash Bandicoot 2, and ever so close to that then would have been Crash Bandicoot 1. Now that's not saying anything bad about Crash Bandicoot 1, it's just saying that the other two games were just capitalized on what was already a perfect platformer in my opinion. Whoa. There we go. Home straight now. We make our way up the last totem. Just gotta get to the top. Should be plenty of lives waiting on me. This was a game that wasn't afraid to reward the player. So there we go. Just 4 extra lives, just like that. I think there's another 1 or 2 maybe on up. Let's see. We go up. Yeah, another life right there. So there we go. We're up to 44 lives. That's nice. Missed a hell of a lot of boxes, so